okay, Eric?
Sounds good.
Good. Got the AirPods on. Not sure if I'm connected right. Always got to make sure I'm looking at this camera, the phone, where the camera is. Hold on here. There we go.
Oh, good.
All right. So getting ready to check out of my hotel here in the Philippines. So it's been a crazy couple of days, but fun. Giants, man, do they come out with the bats today? Unbelievable. They just smoked James Paxton for 9 runs in the first 4 innings. Guys, how many doubles? I heard they broke a franchise record for doubles today. Do you
check the box score? I know there's a lot. There's a lot.
Soler started it off with the first pitch again, a double down the left field line, and
let's look. Doubles. Soler had 2. Matos had 1. VR had
3.
1.
4.
Yep.
I think it was 9.
Ramos had 2. Bailey had 2.
That's 8.
Slater had 1.
9.
And Ahmed had 1.
Was it 10?
Does that
Did I add up 10? I don't know. I'm seeing 9 and 10 in the chat, but
yep, 10.
10 doubles. Man, the bats are smoking. You take those games. I mean,
absolutely, man. Dan, they were literally one run away from sweeping the Dodgers.
Yeah, one
run away. They had.
But before we get, and I don't want to be Debbie Downer or whatever you want to call me. Just realize they played great. You'll give them credit. Give credit where credit due, up and down the lineup. I mean, Soler's starting to hit. Bailey's been hitting. Matos got what? I can't see that real quick. 1 hit? Was it 1 hit for Matos?
So Soler had 2 hits.
Ramos had 3, right?
Ramos had 3. Slater had 1. Bailey had 2. Chapman had 1. Matos 1. VR 2. Ahmed 2. And the 7, 8, and 9 all had 2 hits.
Yeah. And again, guys, what I'm about to say is not trying to be a downer. I'm going to keep people in reality. Just remember the Giants beat the Dodgers last year 15-0. And they were riding a 10-game winning streak. Everybody was going crazy. In fact, Bora on our channel predicted the Giants would win the division last year.
Mm-hmm.
This is still a team that's 3 games under 500. And until they if they prove something on this road trip, if they have a winning record on this road trip, a 4-2 or better,
they'll be in a good spot.
I'll then say the team is starting to turn it around. But I've seen this team too many times do this year after year after year. They play well at home and they go on the road and they stink. They come back, they play well. Look, a good team's going to have to win on the road, and you're going to have to beat good teams. You beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3. You take it, and you say, all right, and you got 5 out of 6 on the homestand. You were really close to going 7-0. Baseball is a funny game. You could have also went 4-3 or 3-4. I mean, those Cub games were tight, and the Cubs blew one in the 9th, right? I mean, you just take each game as it is. They came out hitting today. They had a strategy to attack early in the count, and it looked like they were trying to do that all weekend. Actually, attack early. But guys have good games and have bad games. The question is, good teams and good players don't just have a good 4 or 5 games. They put together, 15 out of 20 good games. Players. We're seeing a lot out of Chapman right now. And those things are streaky. He's a streaky player. And, we'll just have to see. guys, it's a game of rhythm and staying in tune. Can the Giants keep it up? They got an off day tomorrow. They travel to Atlanta. What did Atlanta do today?
I'm not sure. We could check the handy dandies here.
Yeah, I have not.
Hey, we also got to praise Spencer Bivens. The guy out there pitched his ass off, man.
Yeah, Spencer Bivens. Give him all the kudos. 5 innings. He
He
started
cooled
off amazing.
he silenced those Dodgers bats.
Yeah.
I mean, that was very
Good for him. Good for him. He's a journeyman who's getting his crack, and today he
Atlanta lost 4-2.
Okay. To Pittsburgh?
Yep.
Okay. So Atlanta's yeah. I mean, you're catching, you never know. I mean, was that a home game or in Pittsburgh?
Looks like it was Atlanta. The bottom team's the home team, right?
Correct.
Yep. So in Atlanta.
Okay. All right. So,
but they got rid of one Spencer. Did you see they DFA'd Spencer Howard? Then Spencer Bivens comes out and has a great game. That was good. That was pleasant. He's got that 2-seamer that moves, man. It's he knows how to pitch right now.
Man, people keep bumping up the doubles here. Richard Corkley says they tied with 11. We started at 9, then we went to 10. Now we're at 11.
I counted 10. I counted 10.
Do we have anybody that wants to go for 12 doubles today? I think it was 10.
Yep.
I think it was 10. Yeah.
Now, is Bivens going to be a long-term answer? No, unfortunately he's just a stopgap until all these other guys come back. That's just the way it is.
Look, and for you guys that want to say like Lethal, they go 5-2 on this homestand and is still not happy. I'm shocked. Look, guys, I'm never going to get too high right now or too. I mean, look, I talk to a lot of people in this industry. Okay, I don't just talk to people that here on NorCal Sports Network. Okay, I have a lot of people that I talk to in the baseball circles, and let's just put it this way: to a man, all of them believe the Giants are not a great team, or not even a good team, and they believe they're years away. Okay, so if you guys want to say it's just me, I'm with the national people. Okay, guys, the national people that I'm in contact with, and there's several of them. Okay, and they all believe that the Giants are not a team that is a contending team. Now, if you want to listen to all the Bay Area media hype, go for it. I mean, you're really, and can people be wrong? Can I be wrong? Absolutely. We could be wrong. Could the Giants prove all of us wrong? Absolutely. That's what sports is. But, when you get that many people talking about a team, and I'll just tell you, one of them is Mad Dog. Okay, Mad Dog Russo. Okay, I mean he knows baseball. Thanks, Senior. Appreciate it. So would I like to be proven wrong on this, and that the Giants come out and play 650 ball in the second half and run take a wild card spot going away and have solid pitching? Absolutely. I just don't think they have the guns with the hitters. And you know what I meant to do this morning? It's only 11:10 here. What I meant to do, could somebody do this while we're talking in the chat? If somebody would do this, look this up. Look at the games that Matos and Ramos have played together. Just go back and look at the box scores and see when they were in the lineup together, the two of them, and give me the Giants' record in those games. It's not a ton. I would say there's probably 25 or less. Would you say, Romo?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. It can't be more than 25.
Because I don't, yeah. So go look at Ramos. Just Ramos came up on May 8th. Matos was right around there. And then Matos went down a couple weeks later in May or June or whatever it was, and then he came back. Just look at the record of what the record is when Matos and Ramos are in the lineup together. I know it's over 500. I know that.
I'm pretty sure it is.
But I want to see what it is because I meant to do it earlier and have that for you guys because that's what all I've been saying, all Eric's been saying, all Los has been saying is when you play these young guys, they'll have a good record.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at the homestand. They went 5-2. That's pretty good for a homestand. It's pretty good.
5-2.
Much better than the last homestand. Last homestand, I think it was 500, right?
Yeah, Matos wasn't up on that.
No, he wasn't.
Matos wasn't up on that road trip, was he? That when they went 1-6,
no,
1-5. Was it 1-5? Yeah, 1-5.
There was 1-5. That was
when did he come up again? Monday against the Cubs.
You know what? I think it was. Yeah, it was after the road trip. Yeah. I think it started. I think he came up in the beginning of the Cubs series.
Okay, so all you got to do is look at that, and then go look when he was up the first time in early May, and when he went down, and then just check those box scores. Who could take that assignment? Somebody could. Because I think they're a different club when Matos is in the lineup and Ram. I just think they're a different club.
And you got to keep. Go ahead. I
was just going to say, today's lineup was actually surprising to me that, I forgot about Fitzgerald. Remember, we predicted all right-handed except for. I
told you Soler was going to lead off. I knew he was going to lead off.
I heard he likes leading off.
You know what I think it is? You know what I think he's succeeding in his leadoff spot? Because he doesn't have the pressure of knocking in a run right off the bat. When he comes up there, so he's the first at bat. He has no pressure. He just could go out there and swing. Now, later in the game, he may have that pressure. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just trying to get his head right. Maybe he's pressing too much when he sees guys on base.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I guess they're going to leave him there. You know what?
If it's working,
don't broke. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, I'm the first one to say, I was like, why the hell is Soler leading off? Because of the way he was playing. But he's having success. His last two games, granted, it's a very small sample size. He's hitting the ball with some authority. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Wow. I would. I gotta say that they played. They won these games despite some of their base running blunders.
Whew, that was another rough one in the first inning. Yeah,
and I've watched baseball, like I said, 54 years, and the one thing that really, what do we got? SG Sports Talk already banned, huh? Oh, Giovanni shows up. What do you know? Where was he last week? I bet Giovanni won't be around next week. Oh boy. Look, every team can get hot.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants are still 3 games under 500. Okay?
Correct.
That's should tell you guys something. Yes. That should tell you something that they just went 5-2 and they're still 3 under.
Yes. But at least they're on the right track. I mean, if you want to look at the silver lining there, at least they're on the right track. What does it mean anything? We don't know. Here's the thing, and this is, I think, the biggest problem that has been with the Giants is the inconsistency. There are times where it looks like, hey, maybe they're starting to put it together. Remember that road trip in Pittsburgh? It looks like they were putting it together. Then all of a sudden they fell on hard times again. Then they look like they're doing something. Then they fall on hard times. There's no consistency. And I think if they get the consistency, then you're going to start seeing something. But you got 3 months in a row now where the team has been under 500, ending the month. They ended the month of April under 500. They ended the month of May under 500, and they ended the month of June under 500. That is something that they're going to have to work on.
Say that again. April, May, and June under 500.
Yeah, they finished under 500 every month, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Just what was it? I thought May they had a.
Did they? I thought they were under.
Well, they're 3 under. How? I don't see how they're only 3 under. I thought they were under. I thought they were 2 under for the month of April. So I don't know how they can be under for each month.
I don't know.
Here, you know what? While you're doing that, I'll take a gander and I'll be back. I don't. Am I still showing here?
No. It's blanked out now.
When I move over, okay. So I'll just look at the record. I'll look at the record right here.
But that's something. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They had a fantastic game, especially after yesterday's game. It was a heartbreaker yesterday. Now it's gone.
Yeah, I know. I'm going back and forth here.
This very easily could have been a sweep of the Dodgers if it wasn't for, some horrible situational hitting yesterday. But they came out today and they swing the bats, man. That's all you can ask, right? That's all you can ask. And you had Bivens go out there and stop the Dodgers. That was, if anything, that's probably more surprising than the offensive explosion that the lineup had.
Because 14 and 16, Eric, at the end of April.
Okay.
At the end of May, they were 29 and 29. So that means they were at 2 over. They were 2 over 500 in May.
Okay, so they were okay. Okay, but in June,
they're 3 under. They finished 3 under in June.
Okay, there you go. So 2 of the 3 months you finished under 500. You're going to have to start. Look, I understand the first 2 months. If long you're close to 500, you're good. Even now, it's somewhat okay. But you're starting to get later in the season, and you need to at least stay above 500 if you want to really do something. Stop looking at the damn standings. Again, I say that all the time. Don't look at the standings right now because it's really not going to tell you the whole story. You got to look to see how the team is playing. Look at the record of the team because that will tell you who the team is. And long as if they turn in a corner and they start playing similar to this, I mean, of course, they're not going to be putting up 10 runs every game. But if they're going to come out and make it tough, that's all you can ask for them. I mean, yesterday, the Giants actually, it was a tight game all throughout. Other than that, they did go up 5-2. They were putting it to them in the beginning, and you let the Dodgers get back because of base running and the pitching wasn't all that great. But they were in it, all the way up until bottom of the 11th or top of the 11th, I should say. But let's see what happens. I think this road trip is going to be crucial. You got the Atlanta Braves, you got the Cleveland Guardians. Both of them, again, are really good teams. And if the Giants can if they could go over there and have the win, I don't want them on this road trip. They say when you go on the road, you want to be at least, or you want to finish, or I guess if you, at the minimum, you want to be 500. But you want to see them do something more than that, right? If you want to call the road trip a success. Come on, let's go 4-2. Let's go 4-2. 3-3, okay, whatever. But you're still 3 under 500. You got to start coming out of that hole and putting together some really good games consistently. Look, I understand. Sometimes you're going to have a stinker of a game. Sometimes the other team just outplays you. But you got to go out there and give it your best shot every day. So we'll see what happens, guys. But yeah, it was a nice win today. Absolutely. I got a little bit nervous there at the end, though. You got Landon Roop. I don't think is going to be here for very long. Yeah, I mean, my goodness, that wasn't good. You don't want to give up 3. You don't want to give the Dodgers a chance to get into the game. You just don't want to do that. You don't want to get into that. All right, what do we got in here?
All right. I had to unmute myself. So
Bay Area Chris says, did the Giants just expose how not good the Giants pitching is, and the Dodgers will just spend more to bolster? I don't know. I think they, for some reason, Glasnow and Paxton, they both are having excellent years. But when they came to San Francisco, they didn't have it. Don't know what it was. It happens. It happens. Maybe a little bit of fatigue is starting to set in with some of these pitchers. That happens. This time of the year, temperature starts getting warm. Pitchers are throwing a lot more. You have a lot more innings underneath your belt. Maybe a little fatigue sets in, and the Giants caught them at the right time. All you can do, hey, count your blessings, right? For you to be able to defeat, or I shouldn't say defeat, but beat Glasnow and Paxton. That's telling something. That's telling something.
yeah,
I see it right now. Mark just did the math. They're 15-13 when Ramos and Matos are playing in the
15 and 13.
So just over 5. I thought it'd be more than that.
Yeah, I knew they were over. I knew they were going to be over 500. But wow, that just tells you that those guys, when they're 15 and 13, and they're 40 and so that means what's their record right now? I got it.
I got it right here.
I got to keep going off.
41 and 44.
Okay, so 41 and 44, 15 and 13. So that means they've won 26 games and lost 31 without him.
I see what you're doing.
26 and 31. They're 14 and wait a minute. You said they're 15 and 13, so 26 and 15 is 41. So they've won 26. Oh, wait. What's their 41 and 44? Wait a minute, I did that wrong.
They're 41 and 44.
Yeah, so 15 and
15 and 13 with both of those two.
Right?
What's that?
Yeah. 26 and 15 is 41. So they've won 26 games without those guys. And they've lost 44 and they were 13. So 13, 44, they've lost 31. So they're 26 and 31 without them. 26 and 31, 15 and 13 with them. Okay.
Yeah.
Together. I'm pretty sure I did my math right. I'm doing it all in my head.
I think so.
Well, if 26 and 15 is 41, and 44 minus 13 is 31.
There you go.
So, yeah, they've lost 31, and they've won 26. So, I mean, that just tells you a little bit that, I mean, there's other factors. That's not the only factor, but
right.
It is something you look at.
And what is it with Wisely in there too? That's another one.
Yeah. Yeah. Wisely didn't play today.
Wisely didn't play today. I thought that was whatever. I didn't like that, but so Mike.
Well, it just tells you that this is
not Mike. What am I saying? Team. Wisely needs to play every day, man. Gosh, dang it, man! Stop with the platoon stuff. I hate that. He's the best player. He's better than Fitzgerald. I'm sorry. I know. I understand Fitzgerald had 2 hits today, but Wisely is better than Fitzgerald.
Yeah, you do have to give.
I understand.
If Fitzgerald's on the roster, you got to give him a game here and there. You can't just. There's no use sitting them, but it does look to me as though they're probably going to do that more often. This is a platoon team. This is Farhan's team. There's no doubt this is a platooning team.
And I would love to see Fitzgerald, because what do you think about this with Fitzgerald? What is his biggest contribution?
His speed.
It's speed. Did the Giants use his speed at all? They don't. So that's why I'm saying just use Wisely. The guy has a better bat. He fields his position very good right now. I mean, the guy's just a better player. But no, I understand you got to give Fitzgerald his time. I get it.
Yeah.
Maybe they got to give Wisely a day. I don't know, but I like to see Wisely in the lineup.
VR looks. Mike says VR is playing well too. VR looks a little better than he did a year ago when he was swinging at everything in the dirt and chasing. He looks like he's changed his approach a little bit. So but jeez. It never stops, does it, Eric?
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned him. I don't even understand it. We haven't even said his name once.
I did. I said it's Farhan's team with the platoon. And
is that what? You did?
Yeah.
See, I don't. Yeah, I didn't even go there.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm just saying that's what they're going to do. They're going to platoon a lot.
It's aggressive. Look, I understand platooning happens in the major leagues. It's how much it's done with the Giants. That's
you know what? You platoon when you don't have good players. That's just it, period, okay? You're not platooning Ramos.
No, you're not.
You're not platooning really Matos.
Right.
And, they're really not platooning Chapman. I mean, Chapman's the best they have for third base, so you got to play him.
No, not yet.
No, senior, they're not 500. They're 3 games under 500, and they likely come home on this trip. I believe they come back 5 games under. I think they go 2-4 on this trip.
You think so? We'll see. It's hard to say, man. I'm not even making predictions because you don't know what team you're going to get. You don't.
Well, you don't, but you have to look at it objectively and say they're playing the Braves in Atlanta and Cleveland in Cleveland, and they're both teams.
Let me see the matchups
that are going well. I think they'll miss Max Fried because he pitched Saturday.
I know they're going to. I think they don't. They see Chris Sale, right?
I'm sure they do. That means the lineup you saw today will face Chris Sale because it was successful.
He's been doing. I don't know if he's had any hiccups, but he's been having a pretty damn good year.
You'll see this exact lineup that played today if they face Chris Sale in the next day or so.
Let's see what they got in the game one. Ronaldo Lopez. He's 6-2 with a 1.7 ERA. Whew. Hayden Birdsong's going for game one.
Birdsong against who? Ronaldo Lopez?
Yeah, and that guy's having a hell of a year. Whew.
He's a lefty or righty?
Righty.
Okay, and then who's Wednesday?
On the third, let's see what we got here. Jordan Hicks versus Chris Sale.
Okay, and then
4th of July.
Fireworks show.
Yep,
they could move Fried up with the day off, but I think he does. I think they'll save him for whoever they play next.
Charlie Morton, Logan Webb.
Okay. Logan Webb. Okay. 4th of July. Good.
It's going to be kind of tough. Charlie Morton will be okay, but those Ronaldo Lopez and Chris Sale, those are going to be tough games. No doubt about it. We'll see how they fare.
Yeah. Giovanni says, if I were Dan, I'd hold off on predictions for a while. He said the Giants lose against Cubs and Dodgers would win series. No, I didn't say they'd lose against the Cubs. I said they'd split.
Yeah.
I said they'd go 2-2, and then I said they'd win 1 against the Dodgers. So I missed by a couple of games. That happens. Where were you the week before, Giovanni, when I said they'd go 2-4 and they went 1-5? Okay.
Yeah, he only comes around. Yeah, we got it.
Giovanni, you only come around when the Giants win. I mean, the homers on this show are unbelievable. You guys all come out of the woodworks. Look, I'm not going to sit here and just sing praises that the Giants are a great team when they're not. I'm telling you, they played good today. They played good Friday. They didn't play good yesterday. They should have won that game yesterday. That's a sign of you want to know why the Giants are 40-43, guys? Is that what their record is, or 41-44? Did you say
41 and 44?
Why are they 41-44, Giovanni? Because of the game that you saw yesterday. good teams don't lose. If teams above 500 don't kill themselves constantly. The Giants killed themselves with base running blunders yesterday, couldn't score with men in scoring position. And today they came out and played great. They smoked it. I'll give them credit for today. And that's what 500 teams do. Mm-hmm. They're up one day, they're down the next. They're up for 2-3 days, they're down for 4 days. They're up for 4 days, they're down for 4 days. Look, guys, I don't know. You guys shouldn't even really get that excited about this team until they actually put together a winning streak and go above 500 and stay above 500.
Yeah, that's the key right now, is to try to get above 500.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say this team is – hey, I have said all along, have I not, Eric, potentially this team could be good with the right moves and if the pitching pitches to its potential. That's Webb, Snell, Cobb. I'm not counting Hicks in there. Harrison. There's 4 pitchers. If those 4 guys pitch to their potential and can play very well, and then you get something decent out of Cobb or Ray, the team could contend in the playoffs. And that's possible. Is it highly likely? I don't think so. I don't think you can count on Cobb being that effective. I don't know what you're going to get out of Harrison. And we don't know what we're going to get. Did I say Cobb? I think I said Cobb, right? First? Cobb. Yeah. I don't know what you're going to get out of Cobb. I don't know what you're going to get out of Harrison. And I certainly don't know what you're going to get out of Blake Snell.
Right.
Okay. And what you get out of Webb is pretty consistent, but every now and then he doesn't have a very good game. And so, to me, Logan Webb is a top of the line number 2 starter. Top of the, is he a one stopper? Sometimes, but he's not consistent enough for me to say this guy's lights out. He's going to keep you in every game, 3 runs or less.
And here's another thing, guys, and this is a good point now that we think about it. Giants faced some pretty bad weather. When I mean by bad weather, it was really hot and it was really humid in St. Louis. And where else were they? Chicago. And it seemed like it took a toll on the team, especially the pitching. They came home in the confines of, of Oracle Park. They played better. Now they're going to go on the road, in Minnesota, maybe not so much, but Atlanta, it gets, they call it Hot Atlanta for a reason. So that's another fact. That's another factor you could take in consideration. Doesn't mean everything, but just from looking at that last road game, it seemed like the Heat got to them pretty good.
Hey, Giovanni, just so you know, Orlando Cepeda, it's not Zepeda.
D-Shot says, were you called up to the Filipino leagues? That's what he wants to know. I just saw it, D-Shot.
The Filipino leagues. I might be able to make it in the Filipino leagues. Farhan played Little League over here, I hear, in the Philippines.
Oh, that's right. He grew up in the Philippines, right?
Yeah. I should actually have a connection with Farhan.
You should.
I should.
What's going on, man? I
don't know, man. I've got a picture with him.
You do? Do I still have it? I don't think I do. I think we got
I actually wish I could. I wish I had a lot of good things to say about Farhan's management style or leadership style. But I honestly, if I'm being really just brutally honest, I don't see the way this club's run, I just don't see this team doing anything in his tenure.
Well, they really haven't yet. I mean, they have 1 year. They got 1 year that you can,
Yeah. And, everything fell into place there. You had Buster Posey. You had guys have career years. Look, I would love to get on here and say, man, Farhan is making brilliant moves, and this team looks like it's going to be, Philippines big in basketball country, is going to be a juggernaut. Now, was I for the, as Vince said, the Snell signing and the Jorge Soler signing? Yeah.
Yep.
We were. I wasn't crazy about the Snell signing to begin with. Originally, I softened on him at the end because I said, you got to get a pitching, man. There's no pitching on this team.
Yeah.
And there was no pitching out there. So I was always against signing Snell for long term. I always said short term,
Correct.
We'll go with it. But, I don't think Snell wouldn't shock me that he opts in and has a great year next year for the Giants.
True.
Because it is
it's a year removed.
What is this? Oh, I'm looking. I got something on this hat, and it's just, I'm going like, what the heck's on my hat? And it says Giants.
It says Giants.
Yeah, I was like, I thought I had like, how you get, some junk or something like that. What's the heck? There's some embroidered
piece of food.
I thought it was food or something. Yeah, it's like, yeah. So,
but one thing you did say in the beginning of the season, you said the current roster is currently constructed, which was Conforto, Lee, Yaz with Platoon of Slater, Chapman, Ahmed, Estrada, and Wade, and then Bailey behind the dish. You said they needed to improve. Well, there is an improvement. You got Wisely in there now. You got Ramos in there now. Occasionally you have Matos. So, the good thing is you're starting to see these guys who weren't part of the original roster producing, and that's all we can ask. That's all you can ask.
Look at Mark's comment. I love it. Stop keeping receipts. Shut the F up.
Oh.
To Giovanni. Mark it down, folks. You know who Giovanni must be? He must be the same guy that tweeted me out today in dreams or whatever. That did you see that tweet?
I didn't.
Pull that tweet up. Somebody tweeted me. I tweeted back. So I guarantee you this is probably Giovanni because he's taking a shot at us.
Us. Me
particular and the
was it a
NCS.
reply or was it an original post?
I replied to him.
Okay, so let's see the reply.
I don't even know if he's responded.
I
haven't been on to him. Put that up. Let me see what his remark was. This sounds like a Giovanni.
Whatever, man. Hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Go ahead. I can't see. I'm on my phone. Read that. In dreams. What's it say?
The Giants are awesome.
You and your clown show crew are totally wrong about them, Dan. Lethal offense from top to bottom.
And the pitching will be elite soon, too. Someone's messing around. Let's check this
My response to In Dreams, who has 0 followers and is following nobody, and he's been involved for 4 years out on Twitter. Sounds like okay. What's my response there? You're gonna have to show more, hit the show more, and then I'll open it up.
It says, "I'm sure." Oh yeah, I'm sure you feel like a real man only in your dreams.
I was a laughing emoji. I'm sure you feel like a real man only in your dreams. Playing off of his name, throwing shade behind your fake name. I'm glad you feel that a team 3 games below 500 is awesome. You must work for the Giants and your 0 followers. Check back with me after this next road trip. By the way, your wife said it's time for you to take out the trash and mop the floors. What a weasel. All right. What a weasel.
Who cares? Who cares? He's doing that just to get your
Giovanni, good. I bet you that's you. I'll bet you that's you. That sounds like you, a weasel who couldn't come on the show when you said you gave us your word you'd show up. Come on. Oh, man. Maybe it wasn't you, Giovanni, but anyway.
Don't pay any attention to those. That's
so,
just
guys. This Giants team, we'll see where they go. They're right now. They're doing what they have to do.
Yep.
They had to come out on this homestand and basically do what they did, because a 3-4 homestand would have buried them.
Mm-hmm.
I said they'd go 8-12 in their 20 games leading up to the All-Star break. They are actually now 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
5-3. So are they going to win only 3 more games in their next 12? I don't know. I think they might top it.
I think they might.
I can't hear you, Eric. Are you muted?
No, not muted.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
I cannot hear you. Maybe my AirPods went out. Hold on.
Might have.
Let me check my settings.
You can't hear me, huh?
Audio.
Nope.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
I can't hear a thing. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me take this off. How's that?
Yeah, it sounds muffled. That's all.
Okay, my AirPods went dead. Hold on. Let's try another one. Let me try this.
All right.
How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
All right. And these things don't last very long. I just charge them up, man. Yeah. I had them charged. But I'm prepared. Look, man, I got another set.
There you go, man. Contingency plans.
There we go. I'm going to be hanging out for another minute or so, and I'm going to go. I've got family that just arrived here. We're 2 hours from my wife's. We're getting picked up from my brother-in-law, and they're here. And
nice.
I guess we're going to hear some noise in the background, so because the bellman's here picking up our luggage. Oh. So let me mute myself.
Alrighty, sounds good. Alrighty, let's see what we got.
Because this thing picks up all noise.
Everything, yeah.
This is horrible. These are great. This thing is great on an airplane, but if you're talking, I mean, it picks up everything.
All right, what do we got here? Oh, there was something I wanted to talk about here real quick. AB talking about a lineup for next year. Here's my starting lineup for next season. Jung-Hoo Lee, Wisely, Ramos, Alonso, Soler, Bailey, Matos, Chapman, VR. Do you agree that's a great lineup? I think it could be tweaked. I like the Alonso. We already talked about Bivens, Mike.
All right. What's this lineup? Let me look at this. Hey, Eric, here's the starting lineup for next year. Jung-Hoo Lee, Wisely, Ramos, Alonso, Soler, Bailey, Matos, Chapman, VR. So Brett Wisely's your shortstop, I assume. Jung-Hoo Lee's in center, Matos in left, Ramos in right. Soler,
man, I would put Jung-Hoo Lee in one of the corners, man. I'd keep Ramos on center.
And Chapman and VR at first. That's a third or fourth place team. And by the way, there's no way you're getting Alonso. I don't like VR. I don't like Chapman.
I'm not crazy about Soler after
We're
seeing him.
stuck with Chapman and Soler, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You have to put him in there.
Right. But that's why I say it's not a good lineup. You got how many holes in there? Okay, one. Here's your holes here. Jung-Hoo Lee is not a productive hitter right now. Could he be a prototypical leadoff guy? He could be. But see, Jung-Hoo Lee is like similar to, but not as good as Arias. But Arias has a lot of hitters around him. Mm-hmm. So Jung-Hoo Lee has got to be on a really good team. Wisely, I am not convinced that Wisely can hit at this on a consistent bit. You know what? To your point, play him every day, and then we'll see.
Yep.
Play him every day.
If we'll see.
I like him.
Yeah.
But you know what? Play him 40 to 60 straight games, so to speak, with a day off here or there, and then let's see what he's capable of.
Correct.
Because there's a guy by the name of Corbin Carroll that was Rookie of the Year last year, and he stinks this year. Okay,
yeah, he's horrible.
So let's not just jump and say that Wisely's the guy after a month or less.
What's up, buddy?
And then forget Pete Alonso. Why would Pete Alonso sign here?
God, he would be awesome, but I don't see it happening.
He's not coming here.
I don't see it happening.
He's not coming here.
And honestly,
all right.
They may extend him maybe in off season because the Mets are they're on fire right now. All right, you getting out of here?
Yeah, I'm going to get out of here, guys.
What's
next post? What's the next game?
Tuesday,
but it's early game, right? It's like
I think it's 4:00 or something. Let me look.
I think it's 1 a.m. my time. Yeah, it is. It's 1 a.m.
Yeah, but we're not going on to 8:30 our time, so it doesn't matter.
Right. But I may. What I'm saying is, I may have to read up on the game, see what happened.
4:20 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah. So thanks, Robert. Appreciate it, Robbie DeVille. So I will see you guys Tuesday night, 8:30. That would be whatever time that would be basically now, like 11:30.
Yeah, right now, 11:30. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So see you Tuesday at 11:30. If you guys want to know what happened, it'll be Wednesday here. I'll let you know. Just give me a call if you want to make a bet. I'll tell you exactly how the game went down. And you didn't want to take my bet today. I told you Ohtani led off with a home run. He stunk today.
Oh, he stunk. Bivens struck him out twice, man. What the?
Yeah, that was that. You know what I love to see? That second one for the fifth inning. I love that passion, man.
Yeah,
he got the man of baseball, and it was for his first major league win. Love that by Spencer.
That was an
Bivens.
awesome moment. That was a baseball
awesome.
moment.
That was awesome. So, all right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining. Eric will carry you out, and maybe you'll have a special guest join him.
Ain't happening. I already know what you're talking about. Nope.
Mr. 10-run man.
I already had to boot him once. He ain't coming on.
Okay. All right. Have a great show.
See ya, man.
Bye.
It ain't happening, man. It ain't happening.
Bye. All right. See ya.
All right, guys. There was Dad live from the Philippines. Now you get to spend the rest of the night with myself. Here we go, man. Let's get this started here, man. What do we got here? What do we got? Let's go with some of this. There we go. Ain't happening, G. Martinez. It's not happening. Nope. I see you, Houston. Yep. Nothing happened. kill that a little bit. Robert DeVilles, he chimes in saying Cobb went 2 innings, gave up 1 homer, had 4 strikeouts in San Jose. I'm not too worried about the numbers, to be honest with you. Numbers don't matter to me when you got major league pitchers pitching at low A. That means, no, that's not Satriani D-shotted, but it sure does sound like him. I could care less what he does in San Jose. I could care less what he does in Sacramento. It only matters what he does up with the big club. All he's doing is just working out his arm. That's it. You know, I'm not impressed by striking out a bunch of 20-year-olds. Just not impressed. That's just me. All right, guys, what do we got now here? Yeah, I saw that, Tom. That's why I had to give him the old heave-ho. Can't be having that, man. Chardall cussing us out because we didn't give him a win. Get out of here, man. Giants went 5-2 on the homestand, still had a losing month. But they, what? Maybe they're turning a corner, Lou. I mean, I'm just as critical as anyone else on here about the Giants. But, you know, you cannot argue with a 5-2 record. That's pretty good. For a homestand, that's pretty good. The key is, for me, if they can sustain that, can they keep that going? Get out of being below 500, get above 500. And if you're doing something, that's great. It's all you can ask, right? It's all you can ask. It's all you can ask. So we'll see what happens. I think this road trip will be telling. If they go 500, it's eh. If you go 4-2, that's good. But if you go less than 500 on the road trip, man, that's, you know, that's what's, and that's what's just awesome about baseball. One day you just can go ahead and just pass them off and say that, you know, they're going to be the worst team ever. The next day, what's up, Glenn? The next day they could come out and tear it up, and then you think they're a playoff team. It's unfortunate. That's just the way it is with baseball. One day you could be the GOAT in a bad way. The other day you could be the hero. It all depends. AB talking about Alonso. I just don't think that he'll come here. I don't know. Until the Giants can land that big free agent, I will always have my doubts on what the Giants can do as far as free agency is concerned. For the Brave series, oh man, I don't know. I'm not doing any damn predictions because you just don't know. The Giants are going against 2 excellent pitchers. You got Ronaldo Lopez and you got Chris Sale. Both of them have been excellent starting pitchers. So it could be tough. It could be tough. If they win that series, man, then that's good, especially in Atlanta. Again, I think the weather's going to play an issue as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna even try to venture to guess what they're gonna do in Atlanta. If the team is a little bit more consistent, whether they consistently sucked or if they were consistently playing better, then I could have a better determination. But man, it's just, yeah, Barry Bonds was a big free agent back in 1993. yeah, back in 1993. But yeah, it's gonna. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You got some starting. You got in the Atlanta series. You don't have any bullpen games going on. You're gonna have Birdsong. You're gonna have Hicks, and you're gonna have Webb. So at least you got starting pitchers that are going out there against the Braves. So we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. Again. The only thing I worry about Hicks is can he go to distance? Because you need some length, man. Gosh, dang. If Birdsong goes 5 innings, I get it, man. The guy's young. Young in the sense that, you know, being a big leaguer. Yeah, he's still 22, so yeah, he's young. So I get it. I get it. You know, go 5 innings for that rookie. I'm good with that. No issues. Hicks has to go at least 6 innings, man. He's gone 10 starts in a row where he hasn't got out of the 5th inning or gone past the 5th inning. So he needs it, man. He needs to go 6 innings because you got to help that bullpen out as much as possible. Webb is going to give you your 6 or 7. You pretty much can pencil that in. Webb will give you 6 or 7. I don't know if he's allowed. I think that's just, his pitch count kind of determines on whether or not he goes 5 innings or less. I see what you're saying, LDO, talking about. Hey guys, we're just going to go all over the place. I'm just looking at the chat. So whatever comes to my mind and whatever I see in the chat, I'll be talking about it. Yeah, politics is dumb when it comes to the ownership stuff. Look, my criticism of the ownership is because of it seems to be a lack of the concentration in Oracle Park and more of a concentration in Mission Rock. I'll continue to say that. That's my issue. They haven't proved otherwise. Yeah, sure, they spent some money in the offseason. But look how much money they spent and look at the time of team. You're still 3 games below 500. It's not like exactly you didn't exactly build or spend all this money in the offseason and built some type of juggernaut. There is no juggernaut here. There's a lot of jugger, but not a whole lot of not. So, but yeah, when you go to when you take it to the politics, that's just, you lose me at that point. People could do whatever they want with their own money, right? As far as what their causes are. Who am I? Hey, what's up, Los? Yeah, if you want to come on, man, it's up to you. I'll send you out to here. I'll send you out the link here in a minute. Yeah, no knots. A lot of juggers, no knots. All right, stand by, guys. Let me send this out to Los. We'll bring Los on. All right, Los, it should be hitting your email any minute now. With all the pitchers returning, what will be the rotation? Oh. It's probably going to be Webb. Well, when they come out, Webb, Snell, Harrison, Cobb, and Ray. I don't know if Hicks stays in there or not once they all come back. I think Hicks is probably going to go to the bullpen once everybody comes back. But that's not going to be for a while. Not going to be for a while. First person to come back, of course, is going to be Harrison. Second guy to come back is going to be Snell. So here in the short term, it's going to be Webb, Snell, Harrison, Hicks, and I guess Birdsong, right? Yeah, Soler has been heating up. I said it earlier. Maybe he likes batting leadoff because he doesn't have the pressure of knocking in a run. Maybe it's a mental thing. Never know. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, guys. Lee was an overpay when we had Ramos already. That's a good point there, LD. I mean, that's if there's one thing that we've been saying consistently on this show is got to play Ramos. You got to see what you have in the guy. Either he has it or he doesn't, man. That's all I'm saying. Either he has it or he doesn't. And I think that was I think the Giants really misplayed it last year because he may have been able to do the same thing he did last year as you're doing this year. Maybe not quite as the same. You never know because they didn't give him enough of a chance. But yeah, they could have easily saved that money and went and got somebody else if they knew what they had in Ramos. That is the truth. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Before I go any farther, should have said this in the very beginning. NorCal Sports Network is brought to you by Northern Lights Entertainment. Go check out his website, northernlightsentertainmentradio.ca, where he has 5 radio stations that he streams live on the website. Go check it out. And if you want to take a listen to me on the radio with Glenn, our good friend Glenn from Northern Lights Entertainment, you'll see him in the chat occasionally. We do a radio show every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Re-airs on Sundays at 7 a.m. It's called Rock and Talk. Take a listen.
Rock and Talk with Eric and Glenn.
Hey, wait a second. Hold on.
Rock and Talk with Glenn and Eric.
Hey, that's better.
Saturday mornings at 10 and rebroadcast Sunday morning at 7 on 103.5 Capital FM.
There you go, Rock and Talk, man. Take a listen. It's pretty cool. And it helps our sponsor out. Go for it, man. What else we got in here, guys? Kyle McKiernan, been watching The Record with my parents. I'm out at the pool with the show on, and I'm bummed because I hear music, which means it's over. No. It's just me playing music, Kyle. Just me playing music. That's all. What do you guys chat about? Oh, man, a whole bunch of different things. As a matter of fact, this last Saturday, we talked about Willie Mays. Talked about the 10 best baseball players as reported from ESPN. We got a little bit in the good old presidential debate. That was interesting. So, yeah, a whole bunch of different stuff we talk about. Is there any baseball in the Olympics this year? I have no idea. Will the Giants make a trade or no before the trade deadline? Nope. They don't make a trade. Because they're gonna say that these pitchers coming back is gonna be quote unquote the trade. That's what it's gonna be. That's my prediction as far as the trade deadline is concerned. Where's Dan? Dan is in the Philippines, LD. So he's got a little bit of a time difference. I mean, he could have stayed on, but he's checking out of the hotel and he's going to go stay with his in-laws. It's about a 2-hour drive to his in-laws, but starting Tuesday, he'll be broadcasting live from the Philippines at his in-laws' house. I don't see Farhan making trade. Maybe we'll see, but I don't see it. If he's going to make a trade, it's not going to be anything significant. Yeah, Dan's doing good, LD. Thanks for asking. Oh, you're saying, yeah, I see what you're saying, bub. Yeah, Padres will definitely make a deal. What is this? Acknowledge me. What is that, dude? What? Acknowledge me. What is going on, man? What are you doing, dude? All right, what else we got in here? WWE. Yeah, we'll probably have to get into that for sure. No doubt about it. All right, without further ado, let's bring in Los. Hey, what's up, Los?
What's happening, man?
It's going, man. It's going. How's your weekend going?
Hold on, let me turn this volume down.
Hey, what's up, Los?
What's up? Get out of here.
Hey, we heard ourselves. Look at that.
There we go. Oh, but good. You know, had my daughter in town all last week, so I kind of decompressed from sports altogether and just kind of gave her some focus. So it was good to get away from
Cool.
From the Giants. Sometimes they're not good for our health. Sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Well, hey, they had a 5-2 road or home stand, so that's not too bad.
They're playing
It's
well.
not bad, you know. You got to. I mean, it's 5-2 is 5-2. I mean, they could have swept the damn Dodgers, man. If they didn't blow it yesterday, they could have swept the Dodgers. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, they are who they are. They're hot and cold. You know, they just gotta get maintained and ride this momentum. You know, that's their rival, so they're gonna obviously be up for them. So let's see if they can keep their emotion on the road where they have not played well and maintain this. That would be good.
Exactly. See, I think the Giants got up for this series more than the Dodgers, it seems. But then again, the Dodgers, they're kind of in cruise control right now. They got such a huge lead. They can, you know, for them, losing the series isn't as detrimental as us having to win it.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah. The Giants needed to make a statement. But the Dodgers have beaten the Giants so often that they have total overconfidence. But that doesn't take away the Giants played well. They hit well,
absolutely.
Which is always their problem. They don't hit, and they don't hit at home. So hitting at home was kind of cool. Good to see.
And Spencer Bivens, man, the guy shut down the Dodgers. I didn't see that coming. I really didn't. I did not see that coming.
He's kind of got a funky, herky-jerk delivery that it's kind of hard to pick up on. So
yeah, and he's got a great movement on that fastball. So I mean, that plays. Hopefully, he could keep succeeding. But unfortunately, with the Giants' other pitchers coming back, it won't be long.
Now, see, let's hope that this doesn't happen again, because this is why we get so pissed off at the Giants. Is when a young guy performs well and does well, and he gives everybody a little bit of optimism. They have to make room for the older guys, and it's just like that's where frustration lies. Like Wisely's playing well. You bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if he goes in a 1-for-12 funk and he goes down when Yaz comes back, just like Matos did?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to react? How's everybody going to react?
Exactly.
It's going to be the same old Farhan philosophies of, I don't care how well the young guys are playing, how much momentum we got, how feel good everybody thinks. Our veterans are veterans, and we're going to make room for them, damn it, no matter how poor they're playing or how good the young guys are playing. And if that happens again, it's just musical chairs over and over and over and over.
And you bring up a good point. We talked about this before. Look, I understand veterans. They're going to have a little bit longer leash because they're veterans. I get it. If you're a veteran, you've been in the league a while, you should be able to give it a chance to prove yourself. I get it. But look, we're here now, or we're almost in July 1st. Does Slater really need to be on the roster? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a veteran. I think they've given him more than enough time.
He's had plenty of chances.
Right? So let's go ahead and just move on.
Yeah, and I didn't watch too much baseball last week, but people are telling me Villar's looks like a different guy.
Yeah, so, he's had a good couple of games. Well, we'll see. Again,
it's a small sample size.
Yeah, with VR, it's a little bit,
I know.
We've seen it before.
Left a really bad taste in our mouth with how he hit towards the end of last year and everything. So we got to see it and be consistent. But he is a legitimate power threat, which they don't really have in their lineup. So we'll see. That's kind of the motto for the Giants. We'll see. It's with their veterans and their young guys. That should be their slogan. We'll see.
Gosh, and you see, that's what's so frustrating. That tells you, it speaks to the inconsistency. I talked about this earlier. If they are actually playing some good ball consistently, then you could be okay. Hey, we're good. But it's so back and forth. I mean, not back and forth in wins and losses, but back and forth in how they produce. Sometimes it looks bad, and then sometimes it's like, hey, look, they got something here. So it's really hard to determine what's going on.
I sure as hell would not bet on the Giants, because you don't know which Giants team is going to show.
You don't know.
You don't know. Very, very unpredictable. So all the homers are going to be happy now that they're playing well, but then we'll see in 48 hours.
Exactly. That's the thing. Let's see what they do on the road trip. Look, you can't. And that's the thing about baseball, Los, is you get a big win, and it's like, let's print the playoff tickets. And then if they totally crap themselves, they're done. They ain't going nowhere. Baseball's like that.
This is not football where you win and you can enjoy it for a week. You got to come right back in 24 hours and do it again.
Yep.
48 hours and do it again. It's all about winning series. And let's be real, the Giants are still under 500, so let's not print those tickets yet. I know everybody's like aiming for the third wild card spot, when it should be, higher expectations. I mean, the division is probably out of reach realistically, but I mean, why not get the second or first wild card spot? I don't know if these injured pitchers are going to make any difference when they come back.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
I really don't. I don't expect Kyle to do anything. I do expect, even though I'm not the biggest Snell fan, I expect him to pitch better. I mean, it's got to balance out. He's been so horrible. He's got to pitch better. He's better than this.
Hey, Los, I said this last night. Okay, everyone says he's a second half pitcher, right?
Yep.
but he hasn't even had a first half. So how can you say, do you see what I'm saying? You can't say he's going to be great because he has yet to have a first half to work things out. He's basically still in spring training, man.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Now, Ray, we'll see what Ray has. He may have the velocity in his fastball, but let's see what he has as far as commanding it and what does he have with his off speed. Because you just can't live off the fastball continually. Not in the majors.
I know the Giants would never do it because they're paying Snell $32 million a year. But you remember earlier this year, I brought up the point. The Giants need a guy that can pitch like 3 or 4 innings to get from the starter to Doval or just finish the game. That way the bullpen is not killed every game. Again, they'll never do it, but Snell could be that guy because he's great for 4 or 5 innings. So imagine Bivens going 5 innings because he's young and they're going to have him on a pitch count. And then Snell finishing it off 4 innings. So you had 2 pitchers, rest of the bullpen, the rest of the pitchers relaxed and rested. And it would bottom line go towards winning games. Now, Snell and his agent would probably come in and go, oh, we're not relief pitchers. We're starters. I have to build my resume up so I can get another big contract later on. So I get it. That's the politics of baseball and sports that you can't stand. When management would be like, yeah, well, this is going to help us win games and get to where we want to get to. So this is what you're going to do. You're the employee. We're the employer. That's the way it is. But no, it'll never happen. Let's see what he can do as a starter.
Okay. How about this? Let's kind of pivot a little bit here.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of it in the news today. What's his name? Klay. Looks like
Thompson,
he's not going to be.
He's very pissed off. He feels very disrespected by the Warriors. The irony is that it looks like he's going to take less money to go to another team than what the Warriors offered. It's just to spite them. Reading between the lines, I think Klay thought that it really should have came down to him or Draymond. And Draymond has been a mess. He has gotten suspended. He punched a teammate out. And in Klay's mind, this is just speculation. I'm not reading. I didn't read this from any article or any inside source. Just how I'm seeing it is that Klay sees how Draymond has been so disruptive for the organization. And if they had to choose one of them, that he would be the one to be chosen. And they chose Draymond. And I think that pisses Klay off. And I think he felt he should have been number 2 behind Curry.
Here's a question I got to ask.
Yeah.
Whose game is better right now, Klay's or Draymond's?
It's tough. Draymond still gives you good defense and is a facilitator. Yep. Klay gives you spacing and shooting and scoring and still plays okay defense. So they kind of equal each other out. So it basically comes to who's a better teammate. And Klay's a better teammate. He doesn't punch anybody out.
Now, is the level of play that Klay Thompson can provide equal to the contract that he's demanding?
No.
So he needs to take a look in the mirror then and say, you know what? My skills have diminished. I'm not the same Klay Thompson as I was in the past. My game is degraded. And here's another thing. I saw this a lot last year listening to KNBR. The guy, we're talking about being a teammate. Is he being a teammate when he can accept different roles that he needs to play on the team? It seems like he was crying a lot. It seems like he was pouting. I mean, that you see what I'm saying?
It's a valid point.
You got to understand, I'm at a different spot. I'm not being cooperative with different roles that I need to play because I'm not the same Klay Thompson. So you're kind of a detriment. Now, of course, Draymond, he has his issues. It's mostly more just his actions on the court. Not necessarily his play, but just how he acts when he's on the court.
Yeah, Klay could have definitely handled it better. The organization paid him $80 million for 2 years for playing no games. He's hurt.
Yeah.
And you can't just dismiss that and just say, oh, that's what they're supposed to do. No, not every organization would do that. Like right after you got hurt, they could have said, oh, you're hurt. We're not going to give you that much money. But they did. Yep. They still maxed him out. So they took care of him. And for him to expect to be paid $30 million at this stage of his career, that's where Draymond, I think, had the edge. Draymond took less than market money to stay here with the Warriors.
There you go.
Partly because he screwed up so many times.
Right.
So there's so many dynamics when it comes to this. But I think Klay is going to go to the Lakers or Dallas. And I think he took it real personal. And we talk about all this all the time. It's a business. These players are so double standard. They keep saying it's a business. It's a business. That's why I negotiate money. Okay, then if it's a business, then the other way around is that the employer, the company, when they see your value diminishing, they're going to offer you less money. That's business in the normal world. So you can't have it both ways and say it's a business, and then get butthurt when they don't want to give you what you feel is your market value. I'm telling you, he's not going to make $30 million from nobody else. He's going to sign like a 2-year, $40 million deal with somebody. And they're going to be like, you could have signed that here. In fact, the Warriors offered him $2 and $48, and he felt insulted. So
you can't do, man, someone's breaking you off $24 million and you're feeling insulted. That just pisses me off.
Oh yeah. That's the part of the business and sports that I really don't like. It's gotten really out of hand. All three sports. Yeah. So
right.
Great era. Love Klay for all he did. And, a lot of great moments. I was at his game when he scored 60 in 3 quarters. And I had really good seats. I got a close front, a good look at that. So, a great Warrior and a lot of memories, but it's ending in an ugly divorce.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I didn't even ask you. What do you think about our young guy, Elliot Ramos? How about that?
He's maintaining. He had a tiny little slump, but he readjusted. They didn't send him down. Mm-hmm. And he was getting a lot of pitches right off the outside part of the plate. And he was like trying to pull them and pop them up. And he made the adjustment. Good for him.
Exactly. And you know what he's on the verge of becoming, right?
An everyday player.
Not only that, that's what I'm talking about. An all-star. There we go, man. Elliot Ramos currently batting .294, OPS of an .876, on base average of .368. He's got 10 home runs. I mean, the guy is just having, and you could see all his numbers there. He's all in the great category in his hitting for the most part. His whiff percentage, his K percentage could be a little bit better, but he's taking walks. It's up there, between average and great. His fielding here, let me see what that is. His fielding has been excellent, man. The way he gets after fly balls, man. I know he had that kind of a flub against the Dodgers in, I think it was the first game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first game where that ball was crushed. It was hit 107 miles an hour, and it was hit deep into that left center corner. And he got after it. And unfortunately, he overran the damn thing. I mean, that was insane.
Ramos, his evolution as a hitter and him getting better is what we talk about, what me and Dan have brought about Matt Williams struggling early on in his career, just swinging at so many pitches outside the strike zone. Young players are so eager. They're not going to stay on the big league team by walking and being patient. They have to do something. They have to drive in runs. They have to have a high batting average. They have to hit some homers. So they get too eager to do things, and pitchers at this level know that, and they don't really give them good pitches to hit. So Ramos's evolution as a hitter has been to identify pitches in the strike zone and just swing at pitches in the strike zone. He's laying off, pitches that are just off the plate or down and in, and that's going to be Matos's next step. Is Matos needs to be talking to Ramos and say, hey, what's going on with you and what's happening here, and be able to get that. Oh, there he is.
I just heard you talking about Ramos. I got a call. I'm in the vehicle heading back, but just wanted to say something real quick, because I know you guys are going to touch on it. I love how Ramos has power to right field. And he's hit, how many balls has he hit off that right field bricks?
Yeah, he's done that a few times.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's all I was going to say. I'm going to listen in as you guys go, but have a great show.
All right, thanks, Dan.
Drive safe out there. There's some crazy drivers out there. I've been to the Philippines. There's no lanes. It's like you just have to pick an area and just go.
Dude, when we went to Egypt, it was the same damn way. I'm glad that we were sitting on a tour bus, because it was just absolute mayhem.
It's chaos.
Mayhem.
Yeah. No
but
doubt.
Anyway, Ramos, man, just like you said, he has a discerning eye now. He's not just swinging at every pitch. He wants to swing at a pitch that he's going to do damage. He's not afraid, as Dan said, to go to right field. The guy is I'm just watching his at bat. And man, I'm going to have to put a freaking movie together just on his bat flips on a walk. Have you seen the bat flips he does when he gets a walk? It's like, what is he doing? It's incredible. It's pretty funny, actually.
Moving forward with Ramos, to me, he's the best hitter in their lineup right now. And typically, your best hitter is hitting third. Mm-hmm. I know he has speed, but for some reason, he doesn't use it stealing bases when he gets on.
It's the team, man. It's not him.
I don't get why the team has a stop sign.
I don't know.
That's 2024 baseball. Like, what are you doing? Or maybe they're so scared that they're going to pull a hammy if they try to steal. I don't know. I don't know. I would love somebody to ask Melvin. You're last in steals and last in attempts. Is there a reason? Even your fast guys won't steal. I want to see what he has to say. But if they're not going to let him steal, then to me, Ramos's best spot in the order is third. I want him driving in runs. I feel more comfortable with him with a man on third and less than 2 outs. I talk about that all the time. Getting that run in, sack fly, putting the ball in play, not striking out. So I like him third. Do you have another place in mind for him, or do you like him?
No, man, I like that. Yeah. Second and third, that's fine, because it seems like the 2-hole today seems to be your one of your best hitters. So 2 or 3, I'm good with. It's just who you're going to put behind him. That's going to be because
that's bingo. You read my mind. Yeah,
because they're gonna. Right now, they were starting to do that. They were starting to pitch to him like he's the best hitter, so he was having a little bit of difficulty. In this series, he did better, but they're gonna start doing that again. And if you don't get anyone behind him that can do some serious damage, Chapman is starting to come around a little bit, but he's feast or famine, man. He's either striking out. Imagine this. He's either striking out, he's walking, or he's killing the ball somewhere. There's no in between with Chapman. That's who he is.
None. I would love Soler, who's starting to hit right now. I don't like him leading off at all.
Neither do I, but you know what I think's going on, Los?
Yeah.
Honestly, this might be the best place for him, because I think for some reason when a guy gets in scoring position, his brain just
he panics.
Gets stressed out. He worries. He presses. When you're on the leadoff spot and you're leading off the game, no one's on base. Just go out there and do your thing. And maybe that's helping him. And maybe if he gets comfortable enough, then they could start hitting him lower in the lineup. I don't know.
This is a guy that was, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he MVP of a World Series?
He was.
I mean, there's no more pressure than
a
World Series where everybody's watching, and he got the MVP because he must have done something in that series, including drive-in runs. So you're telling me you feel pressure just because you got somewhat of a decent contract with the San Francisco Giants?
I don't get it either.
Overplaying in October? Like, come on, Soler. Like,
It's
dude,
weird.
That's all up here.
It is. It's mental. 100% it's mental.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe, but
I don't know. I'm just taking a stab in the dark because I don't know what else it could be.
How many leadoff hitters have the Giants had this year? Is the over under what, 12?
Oh my God!
I think if we were to do homework, it would be about 10 or 12.
I think I saw something. I think it was during the last homestand. They said Estrada had played in every spot in the line, or he batted in every spot in the lineup. How do you do that to a guy?
I don't know.
Guy, man, you know how baseball, it's all about the routine, getting into the groove. And when you mess that up, some players may be able to overcome. I don't think some can.
I was kind of AWOL last week when Yaz got hurt. Is he officially on the IL or just day to day?
I think he's on the IL. Oblique, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so here we go again.
I think Flores is on the IL, I think.
Okay, so when they come back, here we go again.
There goes VR.
2 people are going to have to go
There
down.
goes Matos. Yeah, they'll be gone. You know they are. Unless if Yaz comes back, maybe they DFA Slater and keep Matos on the roster.
If they ever DFA Slater, then I'll know they're kind of serious about like putting some kind of an emphasis on the young guys. If they DFA him, if they always keep him around, then they're not serious about the young guys. They're just waiting for them to have a slump and then get replaced again.
Yep.
Which is really unfortunate because a kid like Wisely has come out of nowhere. Everybody's talking about Luciano. Everybody's talking about Matos and Ramos. And here this kid comes out of nowhere. And Casey Smith, people talk about him. Nobody's talking about Wisely. He makes a name for himself. And he's doing it at the highest level that you can. He's playing well. He's fielding well. It just sends such a horrible organizational message to if one of these vets, come back and you tell Wisely, hey, sorry, kid, you're going to have to go down or you're going to have to be benched. It's just a horrible message. And it's something that I know bothers the 3 of us. And is one reason that we're not all in on this far on type of regime. So it's hard to get 100% behind them. Knowing that if they win and keep winning and get in the playoffs, that guy's going to stick around. Would love for him to be able to change his philosophies, but I doubt that'll ever happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you would think, especially after last season, that he needs to do something different. The only thing I've seen him do different is he spent a little bit more money in this offseason.
Yeah.
But did it really, and I said this earlier, did it build a juggernaut? I said it built a juggernaut, or it built a jugger, but it's missing the knot. There's no knot in the juggernaut. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I thought Soler was going to do better. I thought Snell was going to be a little bit better. Chapman, I was like, But they're not exactly, setting the world on fire. But we'll see what happens, man. Baseball's funny that way. Sometimes all it takes is to get, it's a 5-2 homestand. Maybe it does something. Maybe it doesn't. We can't say. We can't.
A very interesting thing about this season and the Giants in general is that guys that they expected things from, they're not getting much from. And guys that they didn't expect things from, they're getting contributions.
Ramos and Wisely, perfect example.
So if the veterans that were expected to do stuff ever catch up with the young guys and start performing like they're supposed to, this team could do something.
Yeah,
this team really could do something. But again, what's their logo? We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Exactly. Oh my gosh! All right, what do we got in here? I guess we could get into this. I already know where you're going with this trade deadline. What do the Giants do?
You know me. I want them to sell. I think they're a pretty good team, an okay team, an average team right now. There's some players that I think could get back some decent prospects. And again, for all the people that think if you're selling, that means that you're giving up on the season, you're 1,000% wrong. You never know what you might get back. You didn't think to prove my point about selling off. I just said it 5 minutes ago. Your veterans that you expected things to happen are not producing. The young guys are carrying this team. So if we trade off some veterans that can get some more young guys, and you have this ignorant philosophy that young guys can't help, you need to reassemble thinking and see what's happening right now with the Giants. Young guys are carrying this team right now for the most part. So I would like to see what you can get for Yaz, or what you can get for Cobb, what you can get for Flores, what you can get for any of these veterans. Slater's not going to bring anything back in return. I would be open to Wade moving. We might get a pretty good haul for Lamont Wade. And I know he's a solid player, but is he a difference maker? Is he a big RBI guy? He's a get on base guy. So
he's a get on base guy.
Maybe a true contender. We'll see a guy like Lamont Wade, who in their lineup will hit 7th or 8th. In our lineup, he's a top of the order guy. And maybe they'll give a pretty damn good young prospect that we can build on and add to our young core right now. That's just how I think. I would like them to be sellers, to be honest. And I don't think that's giving up on the season if they do it right. I don't know who wants to trade with Farhan, though, besides
it's
Seattle.
Funny. I don't know if I don't think you didn't listen to the Fox broadcast yesterday, right? With John Schmaltz.
I missed it.
Okay. He even said he doesn't think that the Giants are going to be buyers, but he thinks that there's one player that they should sell, and that is Camilo Duval. That's what he said. He thinks Duval will be a guy where they could get some guys back. Because honestly, you could always find a closer. You can find a closer easier than you can a middle of the lineup type of bat. Here's my thought on that too, because Farhan has yet to show that he's going to do anything spectacular at the trade deadline other than in 2021. Other than that, it was kind of underwhelming. We know that he doesn't sell. What I don't want them to see is I do not want them to see them trade any of the young prospects for a rental. Okay. If you're going to trade for a guy who's got some control, I'm good with that. But to have a guy for only a month and a half, man, no, pass. Because I just don't think, and again, this could change because it's all determinant on where the Giants are at the trade deadline. Are they making a push, or are they just kind of just sitting around 500 and may not really go anywhere? I don't want to spend capital on hope. I don't want to do that.
You only do that when you're trying to win a championship that year.
Exactly. Like when you like the Dodgers, the Braves, or the Baltimore, or New York. They're going to be on the cusp of making their run at that time. So you may want to fortify your lineup, whatever weakness it may have. But if
you're mortgaging your future just so you can get in the third wild card spot.
Yes,
and
exactly.
lose 3 games to 1 immediately, then that is a horrible, horrible decision and investment.
Exactly.
But I could see them doing that, I could see them doing that.
But you know what else I could see? More that's maybe a little bit more likely. We're getting Cobb and Ray back. We're getting them back. That's our trade. They're going to act like that's a trade deadline acquisition because they didn't have them through the year. So now you get Cobb and Cobb, Ray, and Snell because Snell hasn't done nothing for you. So they're going to act like that's the trade deadline surprise, so to speak.
They need to see what they have in Bivens and Birdsong and see if it can sustain, and they could be maybe part of the rotation down the stretch. Because if they do think that, and let's say Robbie Ray comes back in his first outing, he goes 6 1/3, shutout innings, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts. Buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
If he has a good outing and he's a veteran and he's a former Cy Young Award winner, then some team will say, "Oh, Robbie Ray looked good. We can use him. What do you want for him, Giants?" See, that's when you have leverage. When they call you and they want somebody, that's when you start looking. What's that website that you go to where you can look at all the players and their values?
Dan, he subscribed because you got to pay now the trade values. Yeah.
Oh, you got to pay for it now for premium service?
Yeah, you got to pay for it to get on there now.
Oh, boo.
Anyway. I know.
But anyway, I mean, like, Dan and you have access to it, so I'm sure the Giants have access to it with their billions. So they can, let's say the Yankees call. They can go in and say, "Oh, okay, you want Robbie Ray, and maybe we'll throw in Flores? Yeah, give us this guy," whoever that may be. and you have the leverage. So if they say no, you're like, okay, you're not getting Robbie Ray. That's the power of selling. It's like in real estate. That's my industry. Buying and selling a house. Who has the leverage? The seller does.
The seller.
The seller is the one that has his foot up saying, okay, I'm looking at these 11 offers on the table. All cash offer, close in 12 days. This offer is VA financing. They're going to require Section 2 on the pest cleared. They have the leverage. So when you're the buyer, you don't have that leverage. So it's kind of similar in baseball. So the Giants never have that because they never sell. And they should try it once, because I'm telling you, it will make their team better for the long run.
Yes.
That's what we
because
want.
that's what it's about. It's not about short-term gain. It's about having that long, because right now the Giants don't have anything long-term in stone right now. It's every year. It's kind of, hey, where we can, this guy, plug in this guy, sign this guy for a 1-year opt-out. And I don't like that. Look, we've had 6 years. That's my biggest issue with Farhan is it doesn't seem like there has been a quote unquote plan for this long term. No. It's so, that's the thing that frustrates me the most.
It's year to year.
Yes. I don't like the year to year.
It's very spontaneous.
Yes.
It's throwing things against the wall and seeing what sticks.
You know what it is? It's just like 2021. It's trying to capture magic in a bottle every year, trying to capture magic in a bottle. And you cannot, that is not a way to go about running a baseball team.
He's trying to replicate 2021 again.
Yes.
And, that's just years like that don't happen very often, where everybody has career years. Everything comes together, and it does not happen very often. So do it the old-fashioned way: build, develop, and be patient, and it will work out. Some of the best organizations now, we talk about it all the time, the Orioles, the Astros, they had crappy years for a long time, and they built and they built and they built. Now they got a lot of young talent. They're all growing up, and they're all learning together, and they're all getting better together.
But you know what, Los? And
they're going to be good for years to come, not just 1 year.
Yeah.
They're going to be in contention year after year, barring injury, of course.
And here's the thing, too. Even if you suck, there's no guarantee that those draft picks that you pick are going to work out. You know what you need to do? You need to be able to develop them. Not only draft, but you got to be able to develop them so that when they come up to the big club, they're going to contribute. That is part of it as well. And if you can't do that, we talked about this a million times about drafting, developing, being able to trade, being able to sign free agents. If you can't do those things well, you're not gonna have sustained success. Good point. It's like the game has been around for what 100 and something odd years, right? I think we're getting close to 150 years, something like that. The game has worked prior to Farhan showing up at Third and King, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel, man. And I've said this: if it works, don't mess with it. Let it go.
He's trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yes.
He's trying very hard to try to succeed with this platoon system. And we talk about why people don't want to come here. They know the philosophy of this organization. A kid like Wisely comes here and he mashes and he doesn't play against lefties. We don't know. I would love to see what his splits are in the minors against lefties. Looking at his approach, I bet he hits lefties pretty decently. It's not going to be as good as righties, but I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff like Yaz's career. Yaz's whole career, he hasn't been able to hit against lefties. He's under 200, I believe. And Slater's under 200 against righties. So what are we doing? You're not going to let the young guys play, but you're going to let the vets play and struggle?
Hey, Schmaltz went after Slater yesterday too, saying, "Yeah, normally this guy, in the past, he was your left-handed killer. He's like, this year, not so much. He's playing for a job." He basically said he's playing for a job. It's pretty funny.
Hall of Famer John Smoltz watched NorCal Sports Network and copied our content. We will take credit for that.
Oh man. But and here another good point is not necessarily about the players on the field to an extent. What are you telling your fan base when you can't get behind a player who you know is not going to be here but a couple of years and then he's going to be gone? How are you fostering your fan base and showing some loyalty? Granted, it's about production. I get it. But man, I don't understand how you could, how do the owners look at Farhan and see how he's doing this and seeing the fan base don't have no one to get behind.
You can't attach yourself to anybody.
Exactly. And that's part of the experience, right? Is for the fan base to connect with the players and get behind them.
How do you feel if you're a fan and you buy one of these young guys' jerseys? You drop $129 with tax, maybe $140. And like 2 weeks after you buy their jersey, they're like in Sacramento. It's like, oh, shit, I got to drive to Sacramento, man, show my jersey. That's so sad. And that's true. That's part of the game is, when you look at games back in the day when me and Dan were going to games, you didn't see a lot of fans wearing jerseys. It's gotten to be a big business is selling, jerseys of your players. But nobody's going to buy a Slater jersey or a Yaz jersey or a Flores jersey. You want to buy guys that are your future. But who is your future if Ramos, it looks like, is established and is going to stay up here. But this damn yo-yo effect of going down and going up and going down and going up, it's just like it drives not only the players, it drives the fans crazy, but believe me, it drives the players crazy that are the ones going down all the time when they're playing well. I know Matos was really upset the last time he went down. And if he goes down again, man, it's going to be all right.
For those of you who've been to a Giants game this year, when you see people wearing jerseys, who do you normally? What's the names on the backs of jerseys or the numbers that you're seeing at the park? I could probably venture the guess. You're probably going to see.
I would guess it would be all old school players.
Thank you. You're going to see Mays,
Will Clark, McCovey.
You'll see a Posey,
Bumgarner, Lincecum,
and that's about it.
Maybe a few Kane. I never
Pablo, maybe.
Yeah, Pablo. I never saw a lot of Matt Cain jerseys, really.
No.
For a guy that was pretty damn dominant, I guess because he had a very quiet personality. He didn't have that
Instant charisma. One says he's been to 10+ games. Posey mostly. There you go. Are you seeing Doval? Are you seeing Webb? Are you seeing Bailey? No, you're not seeing those numbers. You're not seeing those guys. You're like you said, Lincecum, Bumgarner, Juan Marichal, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Will Clark, Barry Bonds.
So if the Giants are thinking of this from a business point of view, which we always talk about, all they care is about their mission rock and business and money.
Thank you.
Then they'll just throw in the stores Mays. They threw a lot of Mays jerseys out there right after he passed away.
Oh, I'm sure.
They did. We need to get some extra ones, some orange ones, some black ones, some white ones. Let's get all Mays jerseys. They'll buy them. So if they're thinking from a business perspective, they're going to sell and make money on the old timers or the old school players and not so much on the current players. And that's sad. But in their eyes, we're making money. It doesn't matter if we sell a Posey jersey or if we sell a Luis Matos jersey, we're making money. So like that guy in the chat said, all you see or mostly what you see is Posey. I'd be curious to see or ask the chat, which current player do you see the most of? Which current player on the roster? I would think it would be Webb. I would think he's
Jung-Hoo Lee.
He's the
when
longest.
He was around, I think you started seeing some Jung-Hoo Lees, right? That's probably the one.
Yeah. That's a good.
He's
call.
probably the only one over Webb. I mean, that's a little bit weird, but because Lee really has. I mean, don't get me wrong. He may be able to produce something, but this is his first year, and you probably saw more Lees than Webbs. I would venture to say.
I would be curious if Ramos jerseys.
People are wearing Yaz jerseys. Are you serious, Eddie?
Yeah, Carl Yastrzemski jerseys.
Yeah, number 8. Wow. Yeah, number 8. Number 8, not.
Yeah.
Not 5.
The granddad's jersey.
Yeah, they're wearing the 8 Yastrzemski, not the 5, man.
Can you imagine that joke in the Giants dugout? Like one of the other players says, "Hey, Yaz," elbows him, like, check it out, man. Like, you're hitting 210. Look at this guy's wearing your jersey. And then they look again. Oh, shit, that's your grandfather, man. And they're making fun of him.
Oh, man.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot of current Giants are going to have. I would be curious to know if Ramos's jersey is for sale. It should be, you would think.
I'm guessing it would be. I think if he gets on All-Star, I think you might see a lot more.
He wears number 17 or 37. What's Ramos's number? I should know that.
17.
Isn't that Aubrey Huff's number? Ooh.
It might have been. Because last year he was wearing 53. Wasn't he wearing 53 last year? That's what he was wearing before.
Ramos needs another number. He needs like a.
You don't like 17?
No, because I didn't like Aubrey Huff. You just associate numbers with players.
Yeah, I get you.
21 was Jeff Kent, right?
Yep.
They didn't retire 21, and I don't believe anybody on the roster is wearing 21. And 21 is Clemente's number, who is a Latin, had flair for the game. I would like to see Ramos take 21.
Wear 21. Ooh.
Yeah. Put a little pressure on him. Yeah. He has a little Clemente in him. He's fast. He's got a cannon of an arm. So, yeah, why not? Just 17 doesn't quite do it.
Interesting.
They retired Clark's number, Will, 22.
Yep.
24 is Mays, obviously. 25 is Bonds. 23. I don't know. He just needs to be at 20 somehow. Matos is 29. See, that's a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah. 21 would be good. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. Is anybody on the Giants wearing 21? I don't think so.
Freddie Sanchez wore number 21, says MF.
Yeah, good player.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah,
until he hurt his back. Man, he was a good second baseman.
Now, Freddie Sanchez was the type of player that I love for that ballpark. High average hitter, line drive hitter, hit a lot of balls in the gaps, had some decent speed.
That's why I loved Marco Scutaro, man. Scutaro was money when he was at the Giants.
Scutaro's another one. That was
God, he was awesome, man. He may have not been a fantastic player his whole career, but man, when he was with the Giants in what was that, 2012 or
2012, he was a machine.
Yes.
In the playoffs, if there was a guy on base, RBI. He was coming through.
He was coming through.
He would not strike out. He would either get a base hit or a sac fly.
That guy was awesome, dude.
That dude was money. If you could have 8 Scutaros or that hit like that with a couple guys that have power sprinkled in, oh my God.
Holy jeez.
Yeah.
You would be a powerhouse.
That's the kind of hitter I'd love for our ballpark. Somebody mentioned earlier about signing Alonso. I mean, yeah, he's cool. He would do good on the road. I just don't think power in that ballpark. Well,
I think his power plays in Oracle.
Right-handers are definitely better than
because he's a pull hitter. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe
he could but the only thing is he's got that. Look, could you imagine though if you had Ramos 3 and Alonso 4?
Now
you'd be setting up Ramos.
Now you got protection. Now you got protection.
Who else is out there that the Giants could get? If you could get Alonso and maybe somebody else, who would you get, man? I don't know who's free agents.
Is Luis Robert available?
I don't know. But see, the thing is our outfield is pretty much set.
They got to get rid of a couple of outfielders to empty the logjam. They have to.
Because you're going to have Ramos and you're going to have Lee. Those guys are definitely going to be in your outfield.
Is Conforto hurt right now?
No, he's not hurt.
He just didn't play today because of a lefty.
Because of a lefty. Yeah.
Okay. How's he done since he came back?
He's played a little bit better the last couple of games, but it wasn't good.
I wonder if he could bring home anything on a trade.
That's a guy I would trade. The only reason is because he's going to walk next year. You might as well get someone for him instead of just letting him walk.
And it would free up left field for Matos.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a shortstop. Someone says Bo Bichette. Is he a free agent?
Oh, Bichette from the Blue Jays?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a free agent or not. But, yeah, he'd be nice. What's up with Tyra? Is he hurt?
He's hurt. Yeah, I think they put him on IL. Yeah.
He is on the IL? Okay.
Yeah.
So, again, that's another one.
Ha-Seong Kim. I forgot. He's a free agent next year. He's kind of a guy I think that you like. Doesn't he hit for – what's he doing right now?
Oh, he hits for average. I don't know if it's great right now, but he's a contact hitter. Goes the other way with the bat.
I'm going to see what he's doing right now.
And
he's not doing that good. He's got some pop, but he's not. His batting average is kind of dookie. 223, man.
Oh,
I mean, that's this year. Let's see what is he a career.
Last year he hit pretty well, I think.
He's a career 240 hitter. So yeah, maybe pass.
Yeah.
We got Giants got plenty of 240 hitters, man.
When Estrada comes back, what's that going to do for Wisely? Because Estrada's their everyday second baseman. Is Wisely just going to become the everyday?
I don't know. Maybe he outbids because he's playing better than Estrada.
Yeah.
He's playing better than Ahmed.
Yeah, he goes to shortstop, you would think. But
could you imagine though if the Giants are able to get Alonso and then just someone just to lengthen that lineup because you're stuck with Chapman, you're stuck with Soler.
Yeah, unless somebody called and wanted Chapman and offered a ton for him. I wonder if Wisely could play third.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. But again, I think anybody's on the table for the right offer.
For the right player and for the right length.
If you want to call about Webb, if somebody calls about Webb, like I'm holding out for like two of your best prospects for sure. Same thing for Doval. So yeah, if anybody calls wanting Conforto or whoever, they have to listen. Farhan has to listen. I don't even know if Farhan's the negotiator guy or if it's Petula. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know their structure. I would think it would be Farhan. He's kind of the control freak. He sets the lineup. He might as well be the guy that trades things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or trades players. So I don't think Farhan's going to be the one to make the calls. It'll be somebody calling him. And
yeah, of course.
We don't know what goes on behind closed doors, what offers could be made. Like it got leaked that, the Warriors could have had an offer for Paul George today. So I don't know. I think the Giants keep things on the down low. Not a lot of stuff gets leaked with them. So
for a reason, because they piss off the fan base.
If the fan base knew about some of these trades that could have happened that Farhan turned down, he would be in even hotter water than he is already. I think they really keep things on the wrap and don't let it leak out.
Exactly.
No, yeah. Whether they go on a 8-game winning streak or 8-game losing streak, they need to really consider selling. They just have too many. They have too many pieces right now. Just free up some, because we're not even talking about the guys in the minors. Like the Eldridges and some of the other guys in the Wisenhunts that may be coming up as well. There's a lot of intriguing young talent that we don't know. Wisely looks really good right now, but again, we'll see. Can he sustain it? Matos looked good, then he didn't look good. Now he's back up again. He's doing all right. Ramos has been, a beast. Villar all of a sudden is saying, "Don't forget about me." Casey Schmidt, who knows? They got a lot of guys. There's just too much of a log jam. So it makes sense to sell and just free up a little more of a certainty of who's going to play where. And like you said earlier, baseball's a routine. Knowing you're going to be in the lineup and knowing you're going to be at this position makes a big difference. A guy like Wisely is at second base. He's that short. He could be at third. He's the ultimate utility man. But when you're a young player like that, you don't care. You just want to be in the lineup.
Yep, exactly.
So,
gosh, man. And I just keep thinking, because as you say, when with the prospects, you could get all excited about them, but until they're up into the big leagues and actually producing, they're just a prospect. And it's tough. Look, I want to hold on to some of these guys, but as you said, depending on the player and depending on the type of contract that you could get back, man, why wouldn't you want to make a big trade? But it all depends on what other organizations value the Giants farm. I mean, I think the only really exceptional guy, I guess the Giants have, I guess, is Eldridge, and he's only in high A now. Oh, speaking of which, let's look. Today should have been, I think, Cody. I think he went down there to go watch them play. Let's take a look at the Eugene Emeralds. I think he played today. Take a gander at this. Box score. Emeralds, did he play? Eldridge went 1 for 2 with 2 walks, 1 RBI. What was that RBI? Just a hit, I guess. No home runs. And I think there's another guy that went up there too. What was it? No, I don't see him on there though. So yeah, went 1 for 2 with 2 walks.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Well, it's for his first game. So
yeah, Ryan, we know Yaz and Slater don't have much of a trade value. I think in those two guys' case, it's not so much like what are we going to get in return for them. Mm-hmm. That's going to be more like a Conforto or a Webb or a Doval. It's more freeing up the space for some of the young guys to play on a more consistent basis.
Yep.
You know, addition by subtraction.
I mean, if you think about it, the Giants next year, you could go in there. You have to get at least one more outfielder every day. Your shortstop is up in the air. Second base could be upgraded. I mean, Tyro this year has been not that good. So, I mean, you could upgrade. At first base, it could also be adjusted because we're stuck with Chapman. I think Chapman's coming back next year. So, I'm unless they somehow miraculously trade him. So, I mean, you got for sure 2 positions. Potentially up to 4 if you add in second base, first base, heck, even third base, depending on what happens. So, I mean, you're anywhere from 2 to 5 positions that you're going to have to.
A lot of vacancies on this roster.
Exactly. And unfortunately, man, Luciano is just not getting it done in AAA. He went 0-4 today.
He may be a trade piece too. The Giants may just finally give up.
You might have to. You talk about, selling high. Buying low, I don't think he's going to get any higher than he is now, and he's just going to keep getting low.
Yeah, Wisely's come in and kind of like taking his spot, and now Villar keeps doing what he's doing. Like he's moved ahead of him on the pecking order. So
yeah,
if it's never going to happen for Luciano, some team will scout him and say, "We like his potential. We're going to give him a legitimate shot with us." And you might get a decent player in return, maybe another middle reliever. Lord knows we need relievers because they're on fumes right now, man. They are on fumes. If they want to make a legitimate run at this wild card, they're going to need reinforcements in that bullpen because even when the veterans come back, they're not going to be going 7 innings. The only guy that can go 7 innings on this team is Webb. That's why I value him so much is because he saves the bullpen and he goes deep. He goes deep into games, even when he doesn't have his best stuff. Like minimum, you're going to get 6 innings from him. Very rarely does he get knocked out early. It's just that's value on the staff. So much value.
All right, I see D-Shot. Hey, before we get out of here, maybe let's touch on some wrestling. Man, I've been getting a bunch of on my Twitter feed some of the old school wrestling from the 90s and the 2000s. God, that wrestling was so much better, man. I think I attached some of them to the to our text group. It's just like
Vince McMahon sold the company to UFC. So it's not the same product. Nothing will beat the 80s and 90s wrestling. Just the wrestling quality.
Oh, it was just so
the mic skills, the shit
everything.
Yeah, it won't get any better than that.
Here, hold on. Let me see what I got in here. See if I see anything. Maybe I got a clip in here or something. Let's see what we got. Because it usually pops up somewhere in my damn. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Who is this? Oh, do you remember Finley?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I can play any audio on this because I'll probably we could show this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the type of wrestling. Look at this. Just how they take a fall, how they sell it.
Yeah.
The backbreaker, man. Bret Hart had the best backbreaker, man. Dropping an elbow. Yeah, Fit Finley did drop a good elbow. Little atomic bomb. Look at that.
Sharpshooter.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, there he is. Now it's set in, and here we go. He's going to tap out there.
If you just want to see pure great wrestling, watch Bret Hart wrestle Shawn Michaels. Whew.
Oh, yeah.
When you get two technicians together, like when Flair wrestled Steamboat or Flair wrestled, Sting for a big dude could wrestle. I always liked, and that's why I wasn't a big Lex Luger fan, because he's too stiff. He didn't have a lot of wrestling skills. He had like 4 moves. He had a clothesline. He had the rack.
Yep.
What else did he have? He had the punch, of course. He had something else. He had like 4 moves. Like, I like, like that's why I love Undertaker so much. Undertaker, for a dude that's 7 feet, 300 pounds, he had a lot of wrestling moves.
He did.
I think you sent me something like which one's more devastating, Lois, the tombstone or that one, or that one where he puts you way up?
The last ride.
Last ride, yeah, because he's so tall that if you're a smaller dude and you're going way up there, that's a long drop. I don't care how softly you drop him, that's gonna hurt, man.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah. So guys that can
last
wrestle.
Ride, man.
Yeah, he's a badass.
What do we got here? Trying to
Vince doesn't talk wrestling much when he comes in here, does he?
No, I don't try to. That's his bread and butter, when he does on
his podcast,
YouTube and Twitch and all that stuff.
So he talks about it all the time. This is his probably getaway to talk about.
Yeah. We'll just talk baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Come on, is there any more in here? Oh, what's this? Oh, the Steiner brothers.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. There's a what is it? Is it A&E? There's a new documentary out on them, on the Steiner brothers. I got to look it up, but it just came out like last week. They were one of my favorite tag team wrestlers. You want to talk about a clothesline? The Rick Steiner line. The Rick Steiner line.
WCW Starrcade 1990. The Steiner brothers versus the Great Muta and Masa Saito.
Yeah, Muta was nice.
Body or stomach to stomach suplex.
Yeah, that guy right there.
The headgear. There's the headgear. Yep.
Rick Steiner with the. Watch this. Oh no, that's a drop kick. There it is. That's his Steiner line.
Ooh, that elbow.
He had a quick elbow drop. Great Muta. Yeah.
Oh, that was an awesome move. Did you see that?
Watch the Steiner. Ooh.
What was that?
That was like a pile driver with the guy on the top rope, like putting more force into it. I don't remember that move.
Wow.
Yeah, watch the Steiner brothers versus the Road Warriors if you want to see some great wrestling.
Good stuff, huh?
Oh, great. Those were the days, man. I miss those days.
No.
It was so entertaining, and it was reasonable too. You could get like a decent seat in Oakland or even the Cow Palace back in the day. Like, you're not ringside, but you're in that second tier section, $30-$35. Like, really reasonable. And then you got 3 hours of entertainment.
Exactly.
Yep. I had some good times.
Let's see if I can find one more before we get the heck out of here. There's got to be one in here. You know what? It might be. Hold on. Let me check my likes.
Ric Flair. If you don't like it, learn to love it, because it's the best thing going today. Woo.
Come on. I thought I had someone here. Maybe I don't. I got a bunch of stuff in the debate. God, that debate. Brother.
Who do you have your top five? Who do you have as your top 5 wrestlers of all time?
Top 5? Woo. Jeez, man.
Sorry, I'm doing my Chardal impersonation.
Yeah, I know, right?
But these are just your personal favorites. It doesn't, it's just like
favorites.
Who you really like.
Yeah, who I really
like. It doesn't have to be, like universally the top.
Right. When I was a kid, man, it was always Hogan. Hogan was always on the top.
Yeah.
Always on the top. I loved Tito Santana.
Ooh.
I loved Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Mm.
When he became a face, I didn't care for him as a heel because even though he played an awesome heel, Randy Macho Man Savage.
Yeah.
Gosh, and I gotta go one more. Another classic when I was a kid. JYD, man. Junkyard Dog. I love that guy.
He had the big chain.
Yep, the big chain
with the padlock on the end or something.
Or how about King Kong Bundy? Always called for the 5 count. 5.
Have you watched the documentary about Junkyard Dog?
Oh yeah, it's sad. Dude.
It's really good, but it's really sad. Yeah. Definitely. They could have built him up a little bit more.
Best tag team? When I think of tag team, they got to always be tag teams. They can't be, sometimes you had Hogan and Savage together.
Yeah, they break up into singles. Yeah.
The Dudley Boys. Oh my God. I couldn't stand those guys.
I mean, the Hart Foundation was
the Hart Foundation.
Team, but then Brett went off by himself to be individual. Yep. The Road Warriors have always been a tag team. The Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll
Express.
Yeah, Doom.
Who's good?
Harlem Heat.
Edge and the other guy.
Christian.
Edge and Christian. What were they called though? Or was this Edge and Christian, right? I don't think they had did they have a name?
I don't think they had a name.
Those guys were good.
Before Steve Austin became Steve Austin, he was the Hollywood Blondes. Tag teaming with Brian Pillman.
No kidding.
WCW, they were best friends, and then Brian Pillman, died pretty early at a young age. So
Steve-O goes the Warrior, Stone Cold, Rock, Sting, and the Godfather. Stone Cold was See, because I'm naming off guys from my childhood, not necessarily my adulthood, but no, Stone Cold, Sting. Oh man, dude, The Rock.
Sting and Nikita Koloff were tag team for a while. That was a hell of a different combination.
Yeah, that's totally weird, man.
They were rivals, and then they put them together as tag teamers. And Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff used to be tag team partners too. Yeah, the Total American and the Total Russian. So that was an interesting one. Strike Force, that was with your boy Tito Santana and Rick Martel.
Rick Martel?
Yeah, Strike Force. They won the belt a couple times.
Latino Heat? Yeah. That was Eddie Guerrero and wasn't that Chavo?
It was either Chavo. It was either Chavo or who's the little guy? Rey
Mysterio. Yeah, I can't remember. 4 Horsemen. That's not really that's more of an organization, not a tag team.
Correct.
Because there's so many of them now. Well, you got the 4 Horsemen, the NWO. What else? Do you remember Master P came out with? He was in WCW. He's trying to put together a quote unquote a stable of wrestlers.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so weird, dude. That was weird.
Gonzo, that's a real good one. British Bulldogs are
Bulldogs.
Very underrated tag team. They could wrestle. Whew, they could wrestle.
They could wrestle.
Davey Boy had the quickest suplex I've ever seen in wrestling.
Watch
him. I mean, he snapped it. He grabbed you and just
snap. I know Bret Hart had something similar, but I think Dynamite Kid had it. Yeah.
Well, Bret Hart's brother-in-law is Davey Boy Smith.
Oh, no kidding?
In real life, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kurt Angle.
Disco Inferno. That guy was right. He goes on Russo's podcast every so often.
No joke. One Halloween, I dressed up as the Brooklyn Brawler.
No, you didn't. The Brooklyn Brawler.
I had the Kangol, I had the black on and everything. Oh,
That's funny.
It was like early 90s. It was a good laugh.
The Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah, the guy that got his ass kicked on every match.
Yeah, he was.
You know, you got those sacrificial, like the Washington Generals, always losing to the Globetrotters. You got those wrestlers that would just make like $2,000 just to get their butts kicked.
Exactly. Yeah, they were the guys that just sold out to everybody. Yep.
Yeah.
The Twin Towers.
Twin Towers was Kevin Nash and who?
Wasn't that
It's a couple of big guys. I can't remember who the other one
was. It wasn't Big Show, was it? No, I don't think they ever tagged up together, did they?
I mean, for some things in NWO. But are you sure they were called the Twin Towers? It sounds familiar, but I don't know.
DDP. Diamond Dallas Page.
DDP is a great story. He started wrestling as he was a manager for a long time, and he said, "I want to be a wrestler." And he was like 40 years old, and they laughed at him. He said, "Dude, you're too old." And he proved him wrong, man.
He was good.
He was a hell of a talent.
He was. I liked his finishing move, the Diamond Cutter.
The Freebirds.
The Freebirds.
Freebirds came into one of the greatest wrestling songs of all time. Freebird.
Freebird. There you go.
Well, every time I hear that music,
the natural disasters. That was just the greatest tag team when I was a kid was Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik.
Oh, they knew how to antagonize an arena.
Man,
with all this was at a time when this was not too far after the Iranian hostage crisis, so it was fresh in people's minds.
Fresh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was 1979, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah,
79
during the crisis. Yeah,
and Nikolai Volkov and
USA, boy, yeah, exactly. That was funny.
hey, you did that good, man.
That was good. You always did that, man. USA, boy.
And the Iron Sheik, yeah, that was like early 80s.
Yeah,
and that's Vince will tell you that's what it is. You take advantage of some kind of world news or something that's going on in the country, and you just build a story behind it. They wrote that Russian thing. I still laugh at Nikita Koloff, like he's a country guy, and if you listen to him talk normally, he has no Russian accent whatsoever. But he sold it when he was a wrestler. I'm going to kill Lex Luger, Shatoate, Tony. He sold it, man. He sold it.
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh.
Good wrestling chat. Good wrestling chat.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bushwhackers. A little bit weird. Oh, I still love, yes, Eric L., Bruno Sammartino. Him and Jesse the Body Ventura were fantastic broadcasters. The best. I love those two guys. They were the best, man. God, they knew how to call a match.
Jesse Ventura had some of the most controversial lines, but he was commentating in wrestling, and this was at a time when you can say a little bit things over the top and people can get hurt. So when Hogan and Mr. T were wrestling together, they had a match with Paul Orndorff and Rowdy Piper. And Hogan got knocked out of the ring, and they're double teaming 2-on-1 with Mr. T. And I think Orndorff grabs a belt and he's whipping Mr. T. And Ventura goes, "Oh, they're whooping Mr. T, Vince. It's Roots 2, McMahon." I was like, "Whoa, man! If you don't know, if you in the chat don't know what Roots is, it was a TV series about slavery. Yeah. It was like a 6-part mini series, and he's in there throwing it's Roots 2, McMahon." I'm like, wow, that could not fly nowadays.
Not today. Then it was not a big deal.
No, it wasn't, and I loved it.
Not a big deal.
Because it was entertainment, and it was just, hey, it was. I remember there was a baseball stadium I want to say in the mid-90s, that they would play music. God, and I can't remember what stadium it was, but there was a Japanese player that came up, and they played when he came up. This was before you had your own personalized music. So this was the road team playing on the road, and I forget who the player was, and they played that song, It's Turning Japanese, and it's Turning Japanese, and they played that song when he came up.
What?
Yeah, nobody, I mean, it was people laughed, but nobody got fired, or it wasn't politically incorrect, or I mean, it was just, you understood it. Now there's a level that you don't go over. I get it. But, you know, these games and wrestling and stuff like that, it's entertainment. So
Monsoon and Heenan, yeah, those two are good. Gorilla Monsoon and Heenan, they were good.
Yeah, it was sad to see Heenan deteriorate the way he did. He didn't look nothing like himself.
Oh, what did he have anyways?
He had some kind of, I think, cancer in the throat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a great manager too.
Oh, he'd probably be voted the best. Him and Miss Elizabeth, of course, for different reasons. Yeah.
Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, you're gonna make me go watch wrestling when we
Yeah, I know. There. I know. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and we're already gone 2 hours and 16 now. Let's shut this damn thing down.
All right.
You guys can catch us 8:30 on Tuesday. No game tomorrow. So don't have to worry about no show tomorrow. But come back and see us on Tuesday night. Dan will be live from the Philippines. We'll be covering game 1 of the 3-game set against Atlanta in Atlanta. It's going to be tough, man. They're going to face Ronaldo Lopez, who has like a sub-2 ERA, and Chris Sale, who's got a sub-3 ERA. The third game, they're going to face Charlie Morton. You may have a better chance there, but it's not going to be easy. And I said this earlier, Blos, in their last homestand, they seem to have issues against hot weather and humidity. Yeah, I mean, you witnessed it when you were in Chicago.
Oh,
they didn't play well.
Yeah, it was rough. So that's
Atlanta's going to be exactly the same, if not worse, with the humidity.
Yeah, that's a good call. It could affect them, definitely.
Exactly. Oh, MHC tomorrow. You know what? Maybe.
Did you do a show after the debate?
I did.
Oh, damn it! I was tied up with my kid in town.
Yeah, no worries.
I got to go back and watch that because
it was a good one. It was a good one.
Yeah, I had some things to say on that one, but we'll leave it at
that. Maybe because you know what's coming up. Matter of fact, it's starting tomorrow. Was day 1. 161 years ago. The Battle of Gettysburg.
Ooh.
So yeah, maybe I'll have to do that. We'll see. We'll see. Stay tuned.
The bloodiest battle in U.S. history.
The bloodiest one was Antietam, if I'm not mistaken. The bloodiest.
Oh, I stand corrected.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Antietam was the bloodiest.
Bloodiest as far as most deaths from American soldiers?
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. I think it was because it was the single day. I think it had the single bloodiest day of battle. I think something like that.
Mm.
Joe Biden was born 129 years ago.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, maybe we'll get into that because I could get into both Vicksburg and Gettysburg. People don't know too much about Vicksburg. Maybe some do, maybe some don't, but it was just important, if not more important than the Battle of Gettysburg. Maybe we'll get into that. Anyways, guys, hey, Vlos, thanks for coming on for a little while. I appreciate it, man.
No doubt.
And we'll catch you guys maybe tomorrow with me on MHC. But definitely 8:30 on Tuesday for the postgame. All right. Until then, we'll see you. Woo!